you'll never get this again.
You'll never get this again.
And you see your buddy with it, and you're like, oh, he has it, I gotta get it. And now you're playing for hours on end. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. It is a very insidious method for the way to get people to play the games. The games themselves are terrible now. They're just awful. Game-wise, they're garbage. They're not good games, but they're addicting. It doesn't matter if they're not good. You don't want to miss out what everyone else has. You don't want to be behind. You want to get that feeling of opening a box and seeing what's inside, and it's like, oh, I didn't get it, I have to do it tomorrow. It's like, it's the worst type of game to be able to draw a kid into. And so, as a parent, your job is to provide purpose. You need to make it clear, here's why we do games. And so I give 3 examples of this. By the way, just to make a mention, social media works the same way, right? Social media works the same way. Games are not the only thing. I know I talk about that mostly. But social media, what was social media before? Sending an email, right? You go onto your inbox, there's nothing in there, there's not much to do. You get out of your inbox and you go on with your life. But with social media, there's always something to do, right? That's where the term doom scrolling came from, where you're just flipping your thumb. This guy did it and he's dead now, right? You just keep through, and the way the algorithm works, by the way the system works, you're always going to get a video or a post that's slightly related, but just different enough that it's always new. It's not like it works where I'll do it for 15 minutes. I made myself all the way around. I'm back to the same video. I'm done. No, you get a new video. You can do that for the rest of time. You're going to get a new video. It is unbelievable. And especially now, which I'm starting to play around, like I'm trying to figure out like, how long do I have to wait to see what kind of video shows up? Like, what do I have to play it multiple times? So I'm trying to see, and like, I get a random video. I'm like, I never watched anything related to this before. So I try to scroll through that quickly so that it doesn't remember that, oh, he waited a few seconds. He wants to watch. Like they're really getting you and grabbing your attention in ways that are very dangerous. Imagine being back in that situation. I want to know if my friend likes my picture. I'm going to send my friend a picture. I email it to you. Did they check? Oh, ding! I got a ding. Okay, I look at my phone. Oh, nope, it's garbage. Okay, I move on. I'm done. I have nothing else to do in the inbox. Very much changed. So same works for that. And going back to modeling, right? If we're stuck on the screen scrolling and your kid's seeing you do that, or if the first thing you do when you wake up is you grab your phone and check your Instagram, your kid's going to notice that, oh, is this what we normally do? Once I get my phone, I'm going to do that. So here we go. Let me give you 3 things and we'll finish. So 3 things. Define limits for the screens. Make it very clear. This is how long we spend, right? If it's a time limit, right? I've had some parents that their Wi-Fi turns off at 8 o'clock at night. You're done. Your Wi-Fi is done. Internet's done. For the whole house. Everyone's off. And whatever device they're on, if they were doing anything that had internet, you better watch out because you're done. If they're playing a game and they're in the middle of it, you know the rule, 8 o'clock. So make sure you start your games early. The other one that my wife and I do with Yufi and Efina is very specific moments of the day. Ironically, during a sermon. We want you to be quiet. We want you to stay focused on something else and not distracted. We're going to give you an iPad during the sermon. That 30 minutes is done. And we want you to start running around. Usually the kid is like engrossed into the iPad, so I just yank it out of their hands, and it's like they're a new person, and they start running around and they do things because that's kind of what it does. It brainwashes you and gets you into a way of thinking. So first, set the limits. Whether it's time, whether it's amount, whatever it could be, set it very clear. Don't surprise them, right? Don't make it this random situation that they don't know if it's coming or is it not coming. It's consistent. I've even encouraged certain parents, don't take it away for bad behavior. Because there's certain kids that it's like the only form of communication for them. Like if they have none for the day, it could be devastating. It's okay. It's okay. There will be other things that you can take away. Trust me, kids are resourceful. So being able to teach them that certain kinds of things, it's okay. Don't surprise them. So define limits first. Second, you need to know what your kid does. Every parent that walks into my room, I ask them, what's your screen time policy? That's always one of the questions. And whenever they tell me, I'm like, okay, this is the way this is going to go. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. Because the follow-up question to that, what is your kid's favorite game? And those parents rarely know. You need to know what your kid is doing. What is your kid doing for hours, especially when it's an adolescent who's on there for hours? How do you not know what your kid is doing for hours? Would you let your kid do whatever they want for that kind of amount of time in a random location, that's what the internet basically is. It's a connection to the world outside. You got to be aware, what is your kid doing? What's your kid's favorite game? Being able to name it, being able to maybe participate with them. I mean, that becomes another level that discussed. But you need to know what your kid's doing. If your kid is using it for education, great. Encourage it. That's a great thing. But if your kid's using it for other things, time limits. Third, last one, going back to the last one, model appropriate behavior. So you use screens appropriately so that your kid knows and recognizes what it is. And then the other piece of it, just sitting with your kid, doing it with them is a great way of doing it. But my favorite example is telling parents, if you're sitting somewhere and you're bored, what do? Almost all the time, phone comes out. With your kids around, learn to be bored. If a parent knows how to be bored and then can sit with their kid and show them, this is how we interact when there's nothing to do. We may sit here and look at the wall. Oh, I can't do that, Dad. This is ridiculous. Like, okay, let's talk. You don't immediately pull out the phone. I am guilty of this. I'm not saying I'm not. I have lots of games that I play on my phone, and I can pull it out, check my resources, and do something, and then put it away. But sometimes it's okay to recognize I'm going to keep it in my pocket. I'm going to show my kids that I don't always need to pull out my phone to be able to interact with something and be able to be excited about it. Interact with the world around you. And being able to do that is a very effective way to teach your kid. Being bored is a life skill people spend their lives avoiding. Especially now. You have access to the phone is a computer in your pocket now. It is beyond what we can do before with it. And it's in everybody's pocket. So learning to say, I'm not going to pull it out. I want my kid to know how to interact with humans. And being able to show that is a very effective way to be able to teach them. Screen time. Any questions, comments? Yeah.
Do you have recommendations for like number of or amount of time that it's okay for kids to be on a screen?
Yeah.
Or is it relative?
There's no research I've found that has a time limit of problem or no problem. It's going to be dependent on the kid. If you notice that when my kid's playing for 3 hours and they get off and they're interactive and they are doing everything they're supposed to do, let them play for 3 hours. It's fine. Maybe set that as a arbitrary number and then you can increase or decrease. But if you notice that if they play for 30 minutes before bed and they turn into a monster, we're gonna cut that to 0, or we're gonna change the timing. Maybe you just play. Maybe the first thing you do is play when you come home from school, and that's the way you kind of unwind. And then we have dinner, and then you do all the stuff, and it kind of works. So it's just depending on what it is, but no, I haven't seen any research that says a specific amount of time for everybody matters. So that's a good thing and a bad thing, because it just kind of depends on the person. That's a good question. Yes, good. I know we went a little over, but hopefully it's helpful. It's online. We can follow up. But if you have any questions, if you have friends that have any questions, please send them my direction. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a little bit, and I would love to help, especially with specific situations. I'm not going to provide therapy. Again, that's the clarity of it, but I will refer you if needed. If you feel like, yeah, this situation is a little overboard, I can't handle certain things, like it's gone really far. Therapy is very effective. It's very useful, especially with parenting where I bring in the parent, I bring in the kid, we all meet together. There's lots of ways to be able to make it work. So I encourage everyone to be open-minded about that. Okay? Great. Cool. As normal, you can join us for English service. If not, no problem. Yeah. Pan hamara big dai, mekat hamarma, and then kind of an overall.
Relevant.
Yeah.
Screen time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, adiaga tenem, adiaga chosim, and then hamarma getenem. No problem.
Yes.